a little bit. But David Haye has exceeded everybody's expectations, and he's boxed quite splendidly. The second English boxer to get to the semi-finals, the first English boxer to get to the finals of the World Championships. And can he go the whole way, as Audley Harrison did in Sydney, Australia, last September in the Olympic Games?
England. And in the blue corner, Odlanier, Solis, Cuba.
Well, who would have thought we would have Cuba against England for gold and silver in a world championship? But that is the case here in this heavyweight division. This is the 21-year-old, and this is just the 20-year-old, boxed a couple of years ago as a light heavyweight in Houston, went out in the first, or I should say second series, to the eventual gold medalist. But David Haye has really performed quite splendidly. So David Haye guaranteed silver and 8 minutes away from gold. And what, Wayne McCulloch, will his tactics be?
You know, David Haye's been fighting well the whole way through this competition. He's got natural punching power, and yesterday he proved that he can box as well, like he's doing right now, on the jab and move.
Good solid right hand from Haye, and he's taken the lead against the Cuban, who tends to slap with the open part of the glove. And what Haye does, oh, he's got him with the right hand! What a cracker from Haye in the opening 20 seconds. And the Cuban rocked back at his feet, and I haven't seen a Cuban hit like that in living memory. What an absolute cracking shot from the Englishman. And the Cuban champion rocked, and Haye has nailed him.
Unbelievable shot. He's got the Cuban. He's got him badly hurt here. He can finish this fight if he steps it up. I've never seen anybody being hurt that bad in the whole competition. That was power of itself. Beautiful shot.
Well, what sort of a chin does this fella Solis have? Because that was a shot that would have knocked over a JCB. 8-2 to David Haye. Who would have believed that? He beat the Olympic bronze medalist in the quarter-final. He came through against a hard Ukrainian Uzulkov, and he's caught the gold medal favourite flush on the chin, and David Haye is 9-2 up after just a minute of this final, and it was nearly over.
This Cuban has not been the same since he got hit. David Haye's fighting a smart fight, sticking behind the jab and waiting for the right hand over the top. That's the punch that'll do danger. He just needs to take his time and just try to set the punches in and make them count.
Well, Solis was so impressive in the semi-final against Sultan Ahmed Ibrahimov of Russia, the Olympic and European silver medalist. He settled down a little bit, but what a shock he's been given by David Haye. I'll tell you, that nearly was the upset of this or any other competition in recent years.
Look at David, he's so relaxed in there, got his hands down, he's enjoying this, he's having a good time in there, and you know, he knows he got a good lead here and he's on his way to gold.
Well, in Houston a couple of years ago, in a second contest, he lost just by 8 points to 2 to the eventual gold medalist Michael Sims of the USA, and he's got to keep up this pressure. He's allowed the Cuban to come back into it ever so slightly, but that nearly was everybody's dreams come true with one very hard right hand. Well, that was a punch and a quarter right at the start of that round, and David Haye nearly disposed of Solis of Cuba with one big punch. Solis coming forward. There was that uppercut delivered absolutely perfectly, and Wayne Rose saved the Cuban by stepping in. Here it is again, a little bit of wildness. He took his time. Wallop. Oh!
Unbelievable shot. I'm surprised the Cuban didn't go right down on his back from that shot.
Well, David Haye will look at this time after time after time, and if he's delivered a better shot in his entire career so far, I will be very, very surprised indeed. That nearly was a gold medal punch in the opening 20 seconds. So Haye with silver in the bag, but wants the gold. 9-4 now to the Englishman. Solis has recovered his composure, and I'm quite sure he does not want to stand and trade punches with Haye, having experienced the Englishman's power.
Well, Solis knows that David Haye can punch. He's got his hands up well, and he's not as fast as he was in the very first round. You know, he's taking his time. He knows David's got that big right hand, and if he lands it clean, he'll knock the Cuban out.
Well, still 4 points up. Solis has got very, very fast hands, maybe faster than the Englishman's, but the timing and the accuracy and the way that uppercut was delivered in the first round was sensational. Solis coming back now. He's closed the gap to 3 points, and he's trying to crowd Haye. Well, it says a lot for this fella, and it says a lot for Cuban boxing that he can regain his composure after a shot like that, and he's closed the gap now to a single point, and one hopes that Haye's moment hasn't gone.
Well, David needs to get on the jab here and start moving a bit. You know, the Cuban's coming back strong. David needs to throw shorter punches and move, throw combinations and stay out of trouble, get off them ropes.
Well, for the first time, Solis has gone ahead. He trailed 9-4 at the start of this round, and he's picked up 8 scoring shots to only 2 from the Englishman. Haye needs to step up the work rate. A little bit of a shove there from Solis, and he has done wonderfully to recover from that. But 2 points now the difference, and this has been a terrific round from Solis. Haye nicks one back. He's got to use that right hand again. He's got him again, but it wasn't just as hard, but it's a leveling point as opposed to a contest-ending point. Terrific support from Haye here in the Odyssey Arena in Belfast.
Haye's fighting, he's fighting a good fight here. Throw combinations. If he throws the combinations, he'll jab, then the right hand will come right behind it, and that's a punch that could do the damage. This Cuban is strong. He's keep coming forward here, and he's trying to take David Haye out now.
Well, this Cuban is a man who has not just forced an 8 count in David Haye, but he's a man who has beaten the great Felix Savon, 6 times the world and 3 times the Olympic champion. He's only 21 years old, the reigning Cuban champion, and he's going to turn round 4 points up, and that was a very, very tough round for David Haye.
Yeah, the Cuban turned it right around there. You know, he fought a good round, pulled it back, but David's still in there. He's got a good chance.
Good defense by the Cuban, very fast left hand, blocked the Englishman's attack and came straight back at him. Good variation, the Cuban going down to the body.
From the 75 kilo division and 91 kilo division.
Good shot by David Haye right through the guard of the Cuban, but didn't in that second round do it often enough.
Come on, you've got a few rounds to go. Keep him up balance. Get that jab through the gap. Come on, sharpen it all up. Stand the guard, get that chin down. Let the right hand go up through the belly as it goes, or right through that gap. Come on, suck it in. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, find the space for yourself. Take him on. Don't
David Haye up out of his corner. Solis taking every advantage in the minute gap between rounds 2 and 3. So the halfway point in this heavyweight final, Cuba against England. David Haye, who so very nearly won it in the opening 20 seconds under a little bit of pressure. He's 5 points adrift now. Solis has recovered absolutely wonderfully from what nearly was a contest winning shot from the Englishman, and he's come back and he's leading David Haye now by 6 points. And Solis, always the favourite in this division, is now showing exactly why.
Solis has definitely stepped up the pace here. You know, he's looking for the big shot over the top. David needs to keep his left hand just up a little bit. He doesn't want to take too many of these counts, you know. He needs to keep his hands up and just go out there and fight.
Well, that's the second count against him now. It's 3 in a round or 4 overall. And has Haye's best effort, well, come and gone. 10 points now to Solis. Haye doesn't want to get stopped. I'm quite sure in the final of the World Championships, he gave us such a bit of excitement in that opening round. He's got to hang on. He's got to do a little bit more. He looks very tired, and Solis is threatening to stop this.
He looks
He's
really
now 13 points up, and this may not see the end of the round. What a disappointment for Haye. It's all over. Wayne Rose has stepped in, and he stopped it. And Solis, caught cold in the opening 20 seconds, in true championship style, has come through and has won the gold medal. He's outpointed and outclassed David Haye of England, who so very nearly produced a major upset. But no wonder this fellow is the successor to Felix Savon. He may not have Savon's physical stature, but I think he's got a better range of punching.
What a turnaround, you know. He was almost out on his feet in the first round. He turned it right around, but David's nothing to be ashamed of. He's got a silver medal. He fought his heart out, almost had it won, but just it came up short.
Well, too much pressure. The Australian referee, Wayne Rose, had a really good look. And Haye, under pressure right from the start of that third round, indeed from the middle of the second, simply couldn't sustain that sort of accurate punching. Haye has got a silver medal. He's very happy with that. But for one thrilling, magical moment, it looked as if Haye was going to turn the whole thing on its head and win the gold in the opening round.
The referee stopped the contest. The winner, a 91 kilo world champion, Odlanier, in the red corner, Cuba.
Odlanier Solis Fonte, the 21-year-old junior world champion from 1998, the Pan American champion of 99, the national champion for the past 2 years, has now fulfilled his destiny and has become the world champion. But David Haye is the first English boxer ever to win a silver medal, and this has been a wonderful performance from this fella Solis, and we'll see a lot more of him.